How you doing? My name is Franklin Cruz. I want to talk to you about 5 things I learned from starting over 40 years old. So for myself, I was married for 15 years, and I had at the time, it was an amazing marriage for 15 years, and I went through a 4-year-long divorce to finalize everything. To give you context, I also have 2 boys. I have a 15-year-old and a 22-year-old. So from that standpoint, being a dad was my world. Loved waking up every single morning, making breakfast for the entire family, even though everybody had different eggs that they liked. Sunny side up eggs, scrambled eggs, and sometimes an omelet. But it is what it is. I enjoyed it. I loved being football dad, basketball dad, wrestling dad, even learned jiu-jitsu at the time frame. So many things I loved about being married. And then on one day, almost in December of 2019, almost 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago almost, everything changed, everything transformed. So for myself, I completely had to start over. So I'm going to share these lessons that I learned from somebody who's starting over 40, and you're thinking to yourself, what do I do? Oh my God, my world is completely transforming. How do I do this? So number one, what I learned, it's okay to also cry sideways. It's okay to let it out emotionally. So for myself, the first thing that I learned was I've got to learn how to actually just be at peace with my emotions. So for me, it wasn't always praying every day, but it was meditating. What is the difference between prayer and meditation? For in the Bible, it talks about meditation as well. So he even said Jesus meditated in the Mount of Olives. So what I learned from meditation was the prayer is when you ask God for something. Meditation is when you shut your mouth and you actually listen to him. And you just take it all in and just be with it. 20 minutes every single day. That's my rule. And I've been doing that for a very long time now, every single day. And what I've learned is when I actually just listen to him and be patient, things just open up every single time. Whenever I feel a little anxious and I feel like I want to do something, sometimes I've just got to be patient and actually say, okay, chill out, take it time, learn the lesson, keep going from there. And also, I'm 100% fine driving the Tesla. The Tesla's driving itself. It's perfect. So, if you're curious. So the first thing, meditation. The second thing what I learned as well was journaling every single day. And when you're journaling every single day and you shut up, you listen to him, or listen to whatever you believe in, which is fine with me as well, no judgment, is write down what's coming up for you. Write down the thoughts, the ideas, how to improve yourself. Write it down, physically write it down in a journal, so then you could study it at the end of the day. What are the big wins that you're getting today? What are the big wins that you got this week? You've got to, at that time when you're over 40 and you're restarting everything else from a very long relationship that even the entire family on that side completely cuts you off, doesn't even act like you weren't even in existence. Even in family members that you may have helped out and gave them money for certain things, or helped them with work, or helped them with their career, and they completely cut you off. I understand how that feels, but you've got to understand everything is happening for a reason. But understand, when you're writing stuff down, when you're journaling, when you're meditating, start having peace. You've got to have peace, have wisdom, have patience. Everything is working out. It just may not happen in your time frame. Here's the third thing that I've learned as well. When it comes down to it, take action on things that are going to create revenue for you. Those things that are going to create revenue, it gives you that, man, I'm doing something that's taking action. I'm bettering myself. Whatever that looks like. Probably it doesn't have to create revenue, but take some kind of action. Go outside. Stay motivated. Stay moving. Don't stand still with yourself. Stay moving. If you've got to go to paint with a twist, or you've got to make pottery, if you've got to do something with people, do it with your hands. That's fine. Do whatever is necessary to stay active. Okay? The other thing is prioritize your health. This is the time that you're going to get your sexy back. You're going to look amazing. You're going to look beautiful. You're going to get whatever you necessarily need to take care of in your body. Now is the time. Be in the best shape that you possibly can. If you've got to join a CrossFit, my rule of thumb is movement anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour every single day. Every day. And so for myself as well, health-wise, I pre-do all my meals. Everything is meal prepped once every single week. 2 rotisseries, break those things down, chicken, rice, greens, whatever I've got to do, keep it simple. Keep it so simple that it's repeatable, it's predictable, it's something that you could count on, it's reliable. Remember, you just came out of a marriage like I did. I came out of a very long marriage, and I thought it was going to be reliable. But what happened was it taught me amazing lessons. Amazing, that I'm never going to badmouth them at all. It was nothing but a huge blessing. It taught me a lot about law as well. So the other thing as well, number 5, we're going into some bonuses now. Number 5 and then number 6 as well. It's going to teach you a ton of lessons. Learn those lessons. Learn how to let go. What I learned as well, in number 5 as well, learn how to let go. Learn how to, everything's working for you, not to you. So remember, it's working for you, not to you. It's working for you. So there's a great story of the snake and the saw. So the snake brushed up against the saw and cut himself. And when he cut himself, he was pissed. He was like, oh snap, I just cut myself. He didn't know what the saw was. He thought the saw was an animal. So then the snake starts wrapping itself around the saw. And when it's wrapping itself around that saw, it starts killing itself. It starts cutting itself. It starts really ripping into its own skin. And what happens was then he finally let go, but he was extremely hurt that he almost died. All because he nicked the saw, but because he had to come back and show his ego. He didn't let go of his ego, and then boom, he got hurt really bad. So I'd say for myself was I went through those emotions that I wanted to get back at her. I wanted to, keep going in court. For what? At the end of the day, everything's working for me, not to me. If I believe that everything is working out and I don't need to understand it all, then that's all that matters. So it's all going to work out. Another thing I would say, bonus number 6, 7, and 8, right, is create a daily routine. If that routine, for example, for myself, wake up, journal, work out, meditate, eat something, protein shakes or something, stay active with that routine, because that routine is going to help you in the time frames that you're confused, that you're concerned, that you're worried. And that's what you're going to need. You're going to need that moving forward. The other item as well, enjoy the journey. Number 7, enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. Look, we're only on this earth. We're going 18,000 miles per hour right now in the middle of nothing, right? Going in a corkscrew. Look this up. This is factual things dealing with space. And we're on a spaceship. We're just going there. We don't know where we're headed. We don't know how we're going to go there, right? But it's moving. So just enjoy the journey. Everything is just a journey. Write down your lessons every day. What's the big wins that you learned today? What does that look like? How are you moving forward? All of it. It's all good. Everything's going to work out. And then what I would say as well, and I'll end it with this. I didn't understand how it was going to work out. I was committed. I wasn't attached. Now, there are sometimes I was attached. Attached means it's got to happen my way, right? It's got to happen my way. I've got to win, whatever that looks like. Or the other item is, am I committed? I'm committed to just being a better person every day. I'm committed to helping as many people as I can. I'm committed for myself. I'm a real estate developer, to help as many people dealing with the development side, like my students, the people I consult with, my projects that I'm working on as well, and just make the best projects I can. And there's no such thing as losing, it's just learning. Because if you're learning, then you go up to the next grade. If you're not learning in school, they fail you or you go to boom boom class, right? But if you're learning, then you move up. You go to 2nd grade. You may skip a grade. You may go straight to college. You may get your college degree. You're learning. You're moving up. What I learned in the real world is that's the lessons in life. If you're horrible at finances and you start learning how to get better at finances, and now you're getting better at what they call asset class or asset allocation. So you're getting better at allocating your assets. You're getting better at allocating capital. How do you allocate capital? Are you getting better at it? If you're getting better, you're going to have more that you're going to be responsible for. If you're not, then you're going to have less. So hopefully you got something out of these lessons, man. I know for if anybody's going through a divorce or you're starting over at 40, I have sympathy for you. I went through it, but I went through it. I remember sitting there and, you know, at the time I lived in a beautiful gated community, brand new cars, brand new everything. And I was just like, man, I'm living it up. And then when the separation happened, I had to literally look at a suitcase and say, and I remember one of my business coaches told me, he said, look at that suitcase, and if that's all you had, you have to be okay with that. The day that you become okay with that's all you got is that suitcase, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be fine. But if you can't make it past that, you're not. And I had to be okay with that. There's times I was living at a friend's house, a good friend of mine, Robert, I was living in his garage for a while. Nobody knew. It's funny, I've got like a $100,000 car at the time, sleeping in a garage because I had to save as much money as I can. And I couldn't get rid of the car because then my credit started hurting as well. So I had to keep it and just make it all work. And so there's no excuses as well. To me, it's like I had to change my vocabulary. No excuses. I just took out excuses. I was like, if there were no excuses, how would I make it happen? That's it. If the word quit didn't exist, how do you make it? What's a fast, slow, creative way to doing it? Just make it happen. That's it. And you've got this. It just may not happen in the time frame that you're thinking, but I promise you, if you are learning from what you're going through, even on the legal side, I learned how to do, I learned law, I understand cases, I understand how to do motions. What does all that work? What does all that look like? I even was per se in some legal cases for a while. And that means I represented myself. And what I learned was it actually all benefited me because in development and high-end development, like when I sold a community to KB Homes and they named that community after me or after my family, Cruz Court, C-R-U-Z Court. And you can look that up, 7187 Cruz Court, Lakeland, Florida was the first address that was built in the community. And then I've done other projects that I'm working with, like Lamar Agency, $1 billion company, People's Gas, right now we're working out a deal with them. All these different aspects I had no clue about. It wasn't a thought. But if I didn't go through the separation and then the divorce, that would have never opened up because I was never a developer before. I was just doing real estate and I love teaching people stuff. Now I'm at a completely different level knowledge-wise. So everything's working out, man. Just keep on crushing it. You got this. If you're getting something out of this, if you don't mind, like and share it. That would be amazing. Leave a comment on what you got out of it or any kind of lessons that you want to add to this as well. I wish you nothing but the best. You got this. All right, bye.